In this short video, we're going to focus on the market opportunity that Gluster is going after and the incredible business potential that's there, and a little bit about how the company fits into those trends. Let's start with a few key unstoppable IT trends. Everybody knows about the explosive growth of unstructured data. It's growing at over 60% at a compound annual rate per year. It's something that enterprises are trying to get their hands on, much in the way that large internet companies were trying to get their hands on this same problem, 5 to 10 years ago. The other big one is virtualization. Everybody is rushing to virtualize the entire data center. And despite the fact that it's gained a large foothold and has penetrated much of the IT infrastructure, in 2009 it was still under 20%. What we're going to see is a more than doubling of that over the next several years. So anybody that can provide excellent virtualization solutions is poised to take advantage of this key trend. Going hand in hand with virtualization is the move to the cloud. The industry recognizes that the way to deliver IT services is through a utility model, and that's what the cloud is all about. Currently, cloud is still in its early innings. However, over the next several years, it's going to make up a large portion of overall IT spending. It's already forecasted to take over 10% of that by 2014. So any solution, whether it be storage or something else, that can take advantage and meet customer needs as these trends take over the IT industry is well poised to capture big business. So as we look at how those trends are impacting the storage market, we can see that storage is actually transforming to reflect a compute environment that is actually farther down the path than the storage industry. We've seen the storage industry lag the server environment for a while, and now the vendors are playing catch up to take on the new problems that are being exposed. As everything's virtualized, the same is true with storage. And storage also needs to sit next to virtualized server environments, and you need a good platform to do that. The cloud and virtualized environments, by definition, require a multi-tenant or shared environment. Scalable storage solutions that are designed to be shared, that can be easily partitioned, will fit well into this environment. People need to scale on demand. We're well past the time where you would buy 2 to 3 years of capacity and wait until your enterprise grew into it. Both enterprise customers and service providers alike need to add capacity as they need it, whether that be up or down. However, it needs to happen in response to a much more dynamic environment than before. Automation needs to reflect the fact that we are in large-scale environments. Over time, many data centers will begin to look like the internet giants. Service providers need to provide large-scale hosting environments for their customers. It's impossible to manage those unless you have an automated solution to do that. Storage needs to adopt these technologies as well. The scale-out architecture has been proven, particularly in the server industry, but in other areas as well. And that goes hand in hand with open source. The model of scaling out with commodity hardware and an open source software stack has been proven to disrupt industries in the past and offers a powerful economic solution to the scale-up proprietary model. Things need to be standardized. We can't force people to change their applications. We can't force people to change the platforms that they run on. Everything needs to be accessed over the internet through standard protocols. And the world is location independent now. Mobile is incredibly popular. Mobile is taking on most of the compute clients that are in the world. And you have to provide a solution that's available both in your data center on-premise and in the cloud, can be accessed from anywhere, and it's transparent whether you're in the data center or in the cloud. All of these key features really revolve around the fact that virtualization is the primary enabler. And to date, storage has been the Achilles heel that's been holding back the adoption of these technologies in storage and overall data center virtualization. And that goes hand in hand with the unstructured data growth. So what are the specific implications for storage? Well, if you're talking about a virtualized environment and your applications, servers, data centers, users, etc. are files, well, be a file-based system. And that way you enable VM images and application data to be accessed, managed, backed up in all ways, just as files. When you're looking at a multi-tenant environment, don't tie data, applications, or users to any physical storage. And you do that by ensuring global namespaces, partitioning, quotas, policy-based management, and other ways to manage a large environment that's shared by many users. To scale on demand means it needs to be transparent. You can add, delete, or migrate virtual resources such as data and volumes and users. That way you elastically grow or shrink your storage pools. You also need to be able to add, delete, decommission physical resources. Regardless of whether you're talking physical or virtual resources, you need to do so without disrupting applications or users, as applications and data always need to be online. Automation is the only way to achieve scale. You need responsiveness in dynamic data center and cloud environments. Most people look to solutions that allow scripting, API access, management through higher level software tools. Storage needs to integrate with these and provide their access as well. For scale out and open source, you need to combine the flexibility of both scaling performance and capacity independently and leverage the powerful economics of open source software and commodity hardware. There's a lot of talk about how it's important that the cloud infrastructure of the future will be built on an open source software stack running on a scale-out commodity hardware. And for standardization and location independent go hand in hand. You need standard hardware, standard network, standard OS. You can't change applications. You don't want to force changes to the way people access data storage. It needs to be transparent to end users, and it needs to be accessible from anywhere in the world. What Gluster's come up with is one solution for 3 converging use cases that meet the needs of each of these individual trends. We have an open source scale-out storage software solution, but we feel it's very important to start addressing storage problems as a software problem. That means you build the intelligence into the software, and that's a Google-like model for how you build out the infrastructure below it. It's a file-based scale-out solution that spans the 3 key use cases that are in the market today. There are people that still need on-premise scalable NAS. That's a solution that takes them past the scalability and performance limitations that they're experiencing today. It reduces their cost versus expensive scale-up solutions, but it also needs to be easy to manage and provide compelling economics. Many customers, as they build out a virtualized environment, are trying to overcome the fact that storage is the Achilles heel of overall virtualization. Gluster provides a file-based storage system, which is exactly what VM images are. As NAS is designed to store files, and that's exactly what VM images are, it's an ideal solution. Gluster can also store application data alongside VM images. Compared to SAN alternatives, which are more of the previous way of doing business, Gluster provides something that's easier to share, easier to manage, and lower cost. Ultimately, it's about providing cloud storage. Gluster's introduced multiple capabilities to make sure that elastic scalability is built into everything we do. We also make sure that we're POSIX compliant, meaning there's no application changes or unique APIs that customers need to write their applications or other software to. And uniquely, because Gluster's a software solution, it can be deployed in a public cloud environment or a private cloud environment. You can deploy Gluster in a public infrastructure like Rackspace or Amazon just as easily as you can deploy it in a data center. And because of these advantages, we've seen a lot of adoption by customers in multiple segments. Certainly many customers who are using us for scale-out NAS, both in the high-performance area where people need lots of IOPS and throughput because we provide the ability to add compute and I/O resources in a building block fashion, but also in archive models where cost is much more important than performance, and you can build a solution with lots of capacity and adequate performance with a very economically efficient open source software stack on commodity hardware. We see lots of public cloud environments and private cloud environments. Regardless of which model you're using to deploy, the Gluster solution works the same. And as you can see, we have a host of customers, and some of them are only 10 or 20 terabytes in nature, but we definitely have customers that are scaling to petabyte scale and adding and growing and paying as they grow as their needs require. In addition to our paying customers, we have a very strong Gluster community, which helps with the adoption and overall market acceptance of the product. We have a large number of people across the world that are testing Gluster in environments that we could never possibly test for. They're helping us with improving the quality of the product by providing us ongoing feedback. We design our roadmap around input from both our customers and the community members who are very in touch with the needs of the market today. Our community is a very advanced set of developers and even file system hackers that know exactly what the key pain points are and are at the edge of the curve. We have a large number of downloads per month. We have hundreds of known deployments in 45 countries over the world. The community itself is very active with well over 1,000 registered users and lots of engagement, and they contribute a lot back to the company. This is a very fertile ground for us learning more about the product, stressing the product in different environments, and leveraging that into a broader footprint and opportunity in the commercial market. So that's a quick overview of the market we're going for and how we're poised to take it. Thank you for your time.